I know you talked to Aaron Boone. Have you already spoken to him post deadline, and that's coming out later? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that one just came out, so we talked to him like an hour or so ago. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you willing to share that, again, everyone should obviously go seek it out on your platforms, but what can you share with me of what he told you after the Yankee trade deadline netted a reliever from the White Sox and then one from the Rangers, who they then sent to the minors? Give me that one.
It's a tough line of questioning because ultimately it's the front office that makes the decision. I tried to ask, does he have clarity on their plan? Because the the scrum he had right before the trade deadline, they asked him what he's expecting. He said, well, we could trade guys, we could gain guys, or we could do nothing. It was like, oh, so does anyone know the plan? He said from his point of view that they're in a really tough spot, being two out of the wild card, and they don't want to strip it because they don't want to kill the chances of going to the playoffs, and then people want their rentals. Well, they want to pay too much of a price, but it doesn't really make any sense. They just dropped to either 23rd or 28th in prospect rankings because all these other teams just bolstered their farm, which now they have that ammo to use in future trades or develop and graduate to MLB players. And the Yankees didn't do that, nor did they make the team better. It's kind of unbelievable to not do either of those at the deadline.
Right. That's what I was talking about. At least the Mets chose a lane, at least, they chose a lane, and it's kind of gutsy to do when you're in the same market, obviously in New York. But what do you think is the plan with Brian Cashman? Just like, hey, I thought this was it, and it's not, and I'm just going to stay the course because I still believe it's it, and the team that he rewarded with that belief then returned in kind with 3 hits in 8 innings against the Rays. Is that literally what happened last night?
That's my fear. My fear is we talked about that a little bit with on Boone saying this is the team, these are the guys, and they're just underperforming. But I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if they're underperforming. They might just be performing to their abilities at this point in their careers or at this point in the state of the game. It just feels like you need to about face and make some changes, and you definitely need some lefties at the top of the lineup and the ability to not rely solely on Aaron Judge. So that's why I applaud the Mets and Cohen for doing what they're doing. They saw an opportunity to bolster their minor league system like crazy, and then they don't care about money. They basically just spent money on prospects, which then can lead to more trades or they can graduate them. So, yeah, I'm a little jealous of the Mets. I don't want to be strung along the remainder of the season, but I will because I'm a fan.
Yes.
And all fans are a little dumb. So if they win 2 games, I'll scoot forward in my seat and I'll get really upset with myself that I'm doing that because this team's not that good.
Well, I mean, what they need to get is a pitching performance that's half of Garrett Cole. That's what they need to get, and then get some timely hitting from guys who just don't make contact. That's why I thought, maybe Cashman should consider selling off LeMahieu and should consider. And I don't know if Rizzo was even sellable off. Those are the guys that I would consider. Torres, just go ahead and burn it down. And the fact that he didn't do that leads me to believe, is his job, Cashman? I know, Jimmy Traynor thinks he's like a Supreme Court justice sitting there. Is his job in jeopardy, do you think, with the Yankees, Jomboy?
I don't know. Has anyone that was there in one of those higher positions, president or GM or anything, been let go by Hal? I think they were all hired by George. So I feel like that's the group. I don't know. They've never made big changes at the top of the organization in any facet. I don't think so. I think it's I think they're pretty secure there. I don't know. It's very interesting. It's a completely different dynamic from obviously how Steinbrenner ran the team.
Of course. I remember those days, Jomboy. A night like Sunday night in Baltimore where a pitcher didn't give up. Like Luis Severino would have been on the Mariners by the end of the night, or in Columbus, Ohio, for the Columbus Clippers by the end of the night. And, Boone would have been fired a long time ago. If George was
I get
in
really
charge.
frustrated. And non-Yankee fans, they will point to me and say, I'm just being a spoiled Yankee fan. And I'll say, of course I am. That's the brand. that I signed up for. That's what Steinbrenner created, this brand of, like, one of their bigger selling points was, the most demanding fans in sports. If you can't make it there, you can't make it. You can make it there, you can make it anywhere. That's part of the Yankees brand, the Yankee way. And then this season, when they're in last place, Hal comes out and says he's confused why the fans are upset. What are you talking? That's the whole brand. That's what your dad built.
Oh, I'm with you. We're talking the same language. I've got Jomboy.
Yeah, I know. I get fired up about it. You got to win.
I can tell. I'm right there with you. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.